Mopreme Shakur, hip-hop veteran, original member of Thug Life and the Outlawz, brother of Tupac Shakur, sits down with Thomas Berryman TV to discuss his life, career, and what he is up to now. He first tasted success on the Toni song Feels Good, which went double platinum and continued his rise on the Thug Life album, Thug Life Volume 1, which went gold. He is a legend in the game, and Mopreme is the name. All right, let's kick this off.
What's happening, y'all? It's Mopreme Shakur, Thug Life, Outlaw Immortal, coming to Thomas Berryman TV. You know what I'm saying? Hello, wake up, West Coast.
Thanks for coming on, man.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I got love for Australia, my Australian people, and my Aboriginal people. Shout out to the Aboriginals.
Sure, man. I appreciate it. I've got Mopreme Shakur here, original Thug Life Outlaw, and I'm going to kick it off. Do you mind telling us where you were born and how you first got into music?
I was born in Queens, New York, and at the time, you know, I came up in Queens. It was, you know, I came up during the birth of like hip hop. You know, New York as a whole, you know, was known as the Mecca of hip hop, and it was like hip hop. The culture was just being born, you know, which included rapping, DJing, dancing, graffiti. You know, that was the components that was being made up to create the hip hop culture.
Wow, man, that's awesome. And what was the first song that you were involved in? Like the first time you wrote something?
Wow.
Going back a while now.
Yeah, man. Actually, the first professional recording I did was a feature on a lady. Her name was Aranetta, female vocalist in Oakland, California. It was like 89, I think.
Wow.
89.
Yeah. And how'd you get to be on the Toni song Feels Good? It went double platinum and spent 2 weeks at #1 on the US R&B charts.
Yeah, that was a blessing. And I was in Oakland, California at the time because, you know, I was in the military for a period. And as soon as I got out, I went straight to the studio, continued on with my, you know, my love, my passion, which was hip hop music. And the producer that I was working with is the brother of Elijah Baker, who was in the group. And the group ended up coming by my studio session where I was recording my demo. They just, you know, we were introduced, they checked me out, but we didn't, you know, no plans were made. But later on that night, I got a call and, you know, from my man, Kenya, he asked me, did I want to, you know, work with Toni? Would I like to be on the song? I was like, hell yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they, you know, it was my love, it was my passion. They were musicians. They were successful at the time. And you know, I was feeling like it was a break, but I had no idea. It was my break, but I had no idea, you know, we'd end up with a monster hit like Feels Good.
Yeah, it was the best part of the song too, and you just come and bust it out.
Thank you. It's a classic, man. It's a
Yeah,
classic.
I love it, man. And so after that song hit, what was next for you?
It's like a sweet spot in my life because I had recorded the song. The song was about to come out. At the same time, I reunited with my little brother, the legendary Tupac Shakur. And he was at the beginning of his career.
Wow.
And so we were kind of like blowing up at the same time. But then he got the opportunity to join Digital Underground. But then he also got the opportunity to do film, movies. He needed some help. He asked me, did I want to roll with him or do my thing? And so, I rolled with my little brother.
Yeah, man, it was a good big brother right there. And was that how Thug Life started? How did that come about?
I mean, ultimately, in the beginning, it was just helping Pac in his career and be the biggest and best artist out there. And, as his big brother, I had to protect him. So we did a couple albums first, and eventually, Thug Life came about from, the 50 niggas concept. I know you've seen the tat.
Yeah.
That concept was about one good brother, every state. If we unite, we can accomplish anything, right? And that morphed into what later became Thug Life.
Wow.
Concept. Yeah.
And how did Big Psych and Macadoshis and Rated R come to be in the group? Did you know them beforehand?
Pac and I were really from the East Coast, right? We come all the way across the country, and then we get our breaks in the business out here on the West Coast, and Oakland, to be specific. So, once we started getting more and more business, Pac was doing more and more films. We were spending a lot more time in Los Angeles. And when we were in Los Angeles, we were introduced to a few key people to, introduce us to Los Angeles and show us the ropes. One of them was my man, Big Surge. And Big Surge and Big Psych were best friends. Then we met, and then we, it was like family, we started growing. And Mac and Rated, they caught up with Pac at a radio station.
Wow.
Trying to meet Tretch. They weren't even trying to meet Pac. They were trying to meet Tretch, but then they meet Pac too, because Tretch was there. Tretch was our boy, so Pac was there too. And Pac as his own entity, was doing a lot of shows. So we were doing shows all up and down the West Coast. Once we met them, like, yo, y'all want to roll with us to the next show? It was just like, it was organic, it was natural. They showed up to the show in San Diego, and they started running with us ever since. So again, that's another part of the growth of the clique. Mac and Rated and they boys. They had Psych and Surge and his boys, and had us with our crew from the Bay. So we were growing as a team.
Yeah, for sure. You had an awesome chemistry together. When the Thug Life album went gold, how did that success change your life after that?
I mean, so much was going on that landmark was kind of barely noticed. Pac was dealing with his situation. He was in jail. This was all around the same time.
Yeah.
Barely got Thug Life out as an album because there was so much going on. Pac was fighting cases, all kinds of cases.